right, it is almost painting time. So thanks to a comment in the comment section on the first video, it was suggested I try acrylic, and I actually had acrylic available because I was doing a pinball restoration. Now the thing is this appears matte when I put it on, and with the pinball table I can wax the table when I'm done doing a little touch-up, and you can't tell. It looks nice and glossy. With this though, on this, I tried it, and it just looked, and this, I washed it off, so you can't see it anymore, but it just looked really matte, and you could see the strokes, even though I had a nice brush, a nice soft brush. It just, maybe it's the quality of the paint, but maybe it's just the nature of acrylic, but I would advise against it actually, especially on this, just because after I did it, it didn't look like a toy, it looked like a model kit. Like it didn't look bad, but it didn't match the rest of it. His pants looked a little darker red, but they also looked very matte. And then I'd have to like go out and get like a glossy thing and then like do another brush over. And it seemed like too much for what I was trying to accomplish. So now I have this airbrush here, and I don't know how nice this is, but we're gonna give it a try. I have some, and oh, don't put this in there. No, I'm not. I'm putting some enamel in there. So I actually bought this for my initial Krang Android body. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna test it on one of the garbage feet. I'm pretty sure this is one of the garbage feet from the second one. So I'm gonna touch up his foot here, and then we're gonna let it dry, and then I'm gonna see how it compares to this. And if I feel like this looks good here, then I'm gonna do it here. I'm gonna tape it up just because, you know, I don't think I need to do anything to the yellow. I think the yellow looks really great. The blue, I'm gonna go out and just get a blue to match this and just touch up here. Just go blip, blip, you know, like nothing crazy. I'm not gonna repaint the whole thing because like I said, like the blue needs some touch up. The yellow, there's one little chip here, but it's hardly noticeable. And the arms and legs look great, so I don't think I need to paint any yellow. It's just the red, because this is kind of fading here and it's a little inconsistent. And then this has this weird imperfection there. It was almost like either the factory like started spraying there and or the former owner like tried to touch it up. But according to the eBay listing, they were just like, this is just like a kid's toy they had. They didn't seem like a collector. So I don't know, maybe someone way back when, but it is like, feels a little tackier there. I don't know why. It's a very weird imperfection. But anyway, we're gonna try this out and then see what it looks like when we come back. All right, so quick update before I jump into the main event. I touched up the crappy feet. I did not do much magic erasing. I did what I could, but I feel like a lot of this is really hard to get out. But like I said, if I have any use for these, it's going to be putting them back up on eBay. But look at that, like all the scuffs are gone though, and I think it actually looks pretty nice. Like I'm impressed. I don't know, it matches fairly well. I don't really see a change in the colors, and I actually even took my other Krang, my nicer one, and I just touched up the feet a little too, because there were actually some pretty big patches that were scuffed up or not missing paint. So quite impressed with this method. I mean, obviously, like someone's watching this who's done this for the years, they're like, obviously you're going to use the airbrush, but like I'm a beginner. This was like something from China, cheapo airbrush thing, USB charger, but it worked really well. I really like it. So now I have these taped up. And let's see if I can actually, I don't know, I'm kind of hesitant to record while I do this. But let's see, let's just hit the booty a little bit with the, with this, and we'll see how it turns out. So you can already see I'm getting some of the, I mean, it's not shooting out too strong. You can see here, it's like, so maybe I need to put more paint in this or adjust it a little, but It's hitting it lightly, which I like because then it at least fills in some of the imperfections, but it's not like doing a complete repaint of the whole thing. So I'm gonna get 2 hands free and come back with the final result. A quick lessons learned. The airbrush works really well with this. It does not work well with the silver. It gunked it up immediately. So I actually just cleaned it out, and then I used the brush, and I just brushed it. But you know what? I put a very, very small amount because this one like dunk covered this whole thing. And I don't think it's gonna, I mean, fingers crossed, I don't think it's gonna be tacky as it was this time because I'm just doing 1 pass. I'm not doing probably 3 or 4 like I did here. So I'm gonna, and you can see the difference. Like, look at this. Let me see if I can get in close. Look at how crappy that looks. Like, you can see it's clear plastic. You can see right through it. See that? Now, this is the one that I just hit with 1 brush of silver paint, and it just looks spectacular. And you can see how shitty it looks on the back there. So yeah, I'm actually kind of surprised by how far I am with the painting. Once I paint this, I'm gonna let this all dry, and I might even be at a point where I could put the head in and put it back together and then wait a few weeks for the stickers to come from Australia. Painting is pretty much complete, so I feel really good about this. You can see here that little problematic area, it doesn't dry. So it must have, I don't know, must have been a touch-up from someone prior that just, it's very odd. But I'll let that sit for a while. But stepping back, you can't really notice it unless it's in the light. Shoes look good. I mean, these are the crummy shoes, so I'm not actually putting these on. I just wanted to use them to test it. You can see that the grime kind of didn't all come off with the magic eraser. These look really nice. They're not really that tacky. So that makes me happy. But they just look really like brand new. If you saw them before, you wouldn't have thought that they could look this nice. I even hit the little antenna on the head that I'm gonna be popping in, which I'll probably have to touch up again because the whole popping in process is probably gonna take some of the paint off unless I really wait for it to dry. I also touched this up just a tiny bit, my original one, and I painted the shoes. So yeah, overall, I would say brushing with the silver and then airbrushing with the red did the trick. Tons of progress here. So we have the head popped in, and it was as simple as warming this up, the little rubber bit here, not this bit, warming this up with a hair dryer. I just held the hair dryer on it for like, I don't know, 30 seconds, 45 seconds. And then I just started kind of pushing it in sideways in this little hole, and a little lip finally caught and kind of stuck under. The other bit was on the outside. So I took a screwdriver and just slowly kind of tucked it in until it popped inside. And that would not have happened unless I warmed it up. So no boiling water. It was a hair dryer that helped. Now that that's in there, this is painted, like I said. I got this on, so I actually replaced it. The one that was in there was kind of rough, so I used the replacement one. And I just used some good old double-sided tape for putting that in there. I tried glue, but it wasn't sticking. I tried like Elmer's clear. I thought at the very least I could clean this up really easily when I decided not to use it. And then yeah, I've got the legs in place here, the arms in place, the head. So I guess I could pop it. So let's pop it. And here is the result of on and off work throughout the day. Looking really good. So we've got the head on, repainted the shoulder straps, put the shiny stickers back inside, painted his underwear, and touched up his shoes. And the one thing I'll admit is that this is still kind of tacky. Not like, I mean, this whole thing looks tacky, but the silver paint still has a tackiness to it. I don't know how long that'll last, but what I will probably do is either treat it with something or more likely just get a paper towel and blot it down, because I think that's kind of what I had to do with my other one. I'm turning it around here. You can see I've got, shit, I got some silver on his butt. That sucks. Well, I can clean that off pretty easy. You can see here the seams look pretty good on this side, but on this side it's a little loose. What I'll probably have to do is open them back up and just put a little super glue in there and push them shut for like one final time. But I'll save that until the very end when I'm ready to, before the stickers, because obviously a few stickers sit on the seams themselves, and I don't want this thing busting open and ripping the stickers. So